Welcome to the Total Wellness Solutions Academy online radio network. I'm Dave, and our mission is simple. We help families make informed decisions that strengthens their overall financial well-being.
This is the brief on the Total Wellness Solutions Academy. Think of this as your quick primer on a revolutionary direct-to-consumer ecosystem, one that completely flips the script on traditional retail and focuses entirely on just enhancing your everyday life. First, let's talk about loyalty. The Academy boasts an absolutely incredible 96% month-after-month retention rate, mostly because they put consumer value way above corporate profit. But I gotta ask you directly. They say allegiance is important, but does loyalty actually matter when it comes to your own household? Second, let's move right into security. This whole ecosystem provides a really reliable, secure framework for your family's health, environment, and even your finances, totally bypassing the compromises you usually make with typical grocery store brands. It's kind of like having a protective fortress built right around your family's wellness. So, is having that level of security truly necessary for you? Finally, I'm not here to bore you with inventory lists or shopping mechanics. Instead, the next 25 minutes are going to uncover the absolute truth behind these concepts. I encourage you to stick around and discover if loyalty and security are just nice corporate buzzwords or the literal foundation of a longer, more vibrant life. Stick around for the full conversation to find out exactly how prioritizing loyalty and security can completely transform your personal wellness journey.
Now let's welcome our guests, Alex and Emma. What a fascinating topic we have today. Take it away, you guys.
So imagine a retail model where 96% of customers return to buy every single month.
Right. Which is just unheard of.
It's wild. And over 2 million households are actively participating in this. Plus, you've got like 21,000 new families joining the ecosystem every 30 days.
It's a massive scale.
Exactly. Welcome to today's deep dive, everyone. We are so thrilled to have you with us as we explore this really fascinating stack of sources we've gathered on the Total Wellness Solutions Academy network.
Right, which you might also know as Melaleuca.
Yes, Melaleuca. We are looking at their executive summaries, member benefit guides, internal customer service scripts, and even some digital portal screenshots.
And I have to say, it is a very comprehensive look under the hood of a massive operation. I mean, those retention numbers you just mentioned, they completely defy gravity in the retail world.
Oh, totally. Because most modern businesses operate kind of like a leaky bucket, right?
Yeah, that's the perfect analogy. They pour customers in at the top with these huge advertising spends, and then those customers just drain out the bottom the second, a flashy new brand pops up on their social media feed.
Okay, exactly.
So seeing a 96% retention rate means the bucket basically isn't leaking at all. It means they've engineered a completely different type of container.
Okay, let's unpack this. The core mission for our deep dive today is to answer a very specific question about how that container is actually built. The sources reveal a business model relying on two very distinct pillars.
Right, loyalty and security.
Yes. Loyalty, which is driven by a strict monthly shopping agreement, and security, which is provided by something called an automated backup order. We really want to know, do these mechanisms actually matter to you, the consumer?
Or are they just, clever corporate jargon designed to mask a standard subscription box?
Right. So to figure that out, we have to look at the engine powering this entire retention machine.
And the loyalty aspect here, it isn't like a digital punch card where you buy 10 coffees and get one free. It's a structural commitment.
Yeah. According to the member guides, joining this ecosystem starts with a $19 annual fee. Though they do frequently run introductory offers that drop that down to just $1 for the first year.
But the real core requirement is that members commit to shopping for 35 product points every single month.
Let's translate those points into reality for a second because, points can sound a bit abstract.
Yeah, it sounds like arcade tokens.
Exactly. In the U.S., our sources indicate that 35 product points equates to roughly $70 to $80 a month.
Right.
Now, when I first read that, I pictured forced luxury purchases. Like, what am I being forced to buy?
Yeah.
But looking at their catalog, we're talking about everyday essentials.
Stuff you'd buy anyway.
Yes. So, for example, the Vitality pack of supplements is 10 points. A tube of their Renew Intensive Skin Therapy Lotion is 6 points.
Oh, no.
And their Lemon Bright hand dishwashing liquid is just 2 points.
Which means you are already halfway to your 35-point commitment just by washing your dishes, moisturizing your hands, and taking your vitamins.
Exactly.
You aren't buying some weird novelty item. You are basically just redirecting money you are already going to spend at a big box grocery store into this specific ecosystem.
I see what you're saying, but I have to play devil's advocate for a moment here. Mandating a monthly quota feels intensely restrictive.
It does.
Right? So on behalf of anyone listening who just hates being told how much they have to buy, why would 2 million households agree to a forced shopping list? I mean, it seems like a massive barrier to entry.
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's entirely about supply chain efficiency and ultimately value transfer.
Okay.
Let's look at the mechanism of how traditional retail works. A standard company manufactures 1 million bottles of shampoo, ships them to these giant climate-controlled warehouses, and then they wait. They just hope you'll see a commercial and buy one.
Right. So they pay for storage, they pay for advertising, and they pay for middleman distribution.
Exactly. And who absorbs all those invisible costs? You do. The consumer absorbs it in the final price of the shampoo.
Got it.
But by standardizing a 35-point minimum across different countries and currencies, Melaleuca can rely on something called just-in-time manufacturing.
Oh, because they know exactly how many points those 2 million households are going to consume next month.
Yes, they only manufacture what they know will ship.
Wow. The executive summary notes that this predictability reduces their warehouse storage cost by 70%.
Which is massive.
It's a staggering amount of overhead.
Yeah.
Think about it. They aren't paying to heat and cool huge buildings full of surplus dish soap that might just sit there for 6 months.
Right. And the documentation claims they take those operational savings, combined with a $0 advertising budget, by the way, and funnel it directly into the product ingredients and member pricing.
So that's how they offer the 30 to 50% discount off non-member prices.
Exactly, and it funds the ingredients. The sources constantly reference these proprietary formulas. Like, for instance, their tooth polish uses something called ProRadiant technology.
Okay, let's break that jargon down because ProRadiant technology sounds a lot like marketing speak.
It really does.
What is actually happening chemically there? Because our sources say it features xylitol and T40C3 oil.
Right. So the sources explain that T40C3 is a specific, highly refined grade of tea tree oil. It's Melaleuca alternifolia, which acts as a natural antiseptic.
Okay.
And xylitol is a natural sweetener, but functionally, the bacteria in your mouth can't digest it. So it essentially starves the plaque-causing bacteria.
Oh, wow. That's clever.
Yeah. Those are premium ingredients that cost significantly more than standard synthetic fillers. The underlying logic of the whole business model is that the 35-point loyalty agreement provides the financial stability required to actually afford those ingredients.
You know, it really makes me think of a community-supported agriculture box, a CSA.
Oh, that's an interesting comparison.
Yeah. Because instead of going to a supermarket and just foraging for whatever wilted lettuce happens to be on the shelf, you commit to a local farm up front every season.
Right.
And because you gave the farmer predictable revenue, they can afford to plant the best organic seeds. In return, you get the absolute freshest harvest at a lower cost. It's basically a CSA, but for your bathroom and laundry room.
That is an excellent analogy. The rigid requirement is exactly what enables the quality. But as you pointed out earlier, human nature doesn't always love rigid requirements.
No, we really don't.
Life gets chaotic. You know, people go on vacation, get swamped at work, or simply forget to log in and order.
Which brings us to the second pillar. If the 35-point minimum is the rigid requirement, what happens when you inevitably drop the ball?
And that is where the concept of security steps in through a system they call the backup order.
Now, I have to be honest. When I was reviewing the member benefit guides, my mind instantly flashed red at the phrase automated backup order.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
We have all been burned by surprise subscription boxes. You sign up for a free trial of something, you forget to cancel it, and suddenly your credit card is charged $90 for like a box of artisanal pickles you never even wanted.
Yeah, it's the worst.
So how is this backup order mechanism not just a standard corporate trap?
It's a highly valid concern. And what's fascinating here is how the documentation fundamentally frames the backup order. They frame it as protection rather than a penalty or a primary delivery method.
Protection.
Yes. It is purely a safety net. The order is only generated and shipped if a member goes an entire calendar month without placing an active order of their own.
Okay, but what exactly is it protecting? Because getting sent soap I forgot to order doesn't really feel like protection.
Well, it's protecting your status within the ecosystem. The sources emphasize that if you miss a month, you don't just miss a shipment of vitamins, you actually forfeit your preferred member status.
Oh, so you'd lose the discount.
Exactly. You would lose your 30 to 50% discounts, and you would reset any loyalty reward streaks you've built up. So yes, the backup order prevents a lapse in your daily wellness routine, but mechanically, it protects your financial investment in their discount structure.
And the sources do clarify that you aren't just forced into receiving a random grab bag of items.
Right, you have choices.
Members can set up a customized backup order ahead of time, loaded with the exact items they know they will eventually use, like their favorite laundry detergent and shampoo.
Which makes sense.
Or, alternatively, they can opt for a member's choice pack. That's a rotating assortment of wellness products mathematically priced to hit exactly 35 points, which usually runs around $67.99.
You're listening to the Total Wellness Solutions Academy. We'll return to today's discussion in just a moment. If you're just joining us, thank you for listening. Stay with us as Alex and Emma continue today's conversation right here on the Total Wellness Solutions streaming audio network.
But you know, the most revealing evidence about the intent behind this entire system comes from the internal customer care scripts we reviewed.
Yes, I found this part of our stack incredibly compelling. We have the actual prompts their representatives use when interacting with customers.
And they are very telling.
They really are. They don't just quietly charge your card in the middle of the night and hope you don't check your bank statement. They actively reach out.
Yeah.
Let me read one of these text messages directly from the script. It says, "Hey, how's everything been going with your order so far? I noticed a backup order went through last month. I'd love to help you customize your next one so it's exactly what you want."
The phrasing there is so critical. It's proactive rather than reactive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's another script for non-payment suspensions that literally starts with, "Is everything okay? I'm here if you need anything."
Wow.
It reads much more like a concierge checking in on a hotel guest rather than a collections department demanding payment.
And that level of transparency is essential to making the security pillar function without feeling predatory. Furthermore, the sources repeatedly emphasize that members have full control.
Right.
If you are moving or traveling for an extended period, you can suspend your account. If you decide the ecosystem just isn't for you, the guide outlines a 4-step online cancellation process without any termination fees.
Oh, nice. Because it's a month-to-month agreement. The security mechanism is genuinely designed to keep you from accidentally losing benefits because you got busy, not to hold you hostage.
So, okay, we have the loyalty requirement with the 35 points, and we have the security safety net with the backup order. Mechanically, it makes total sense.
It does.
But changing your buying habits, like abandoning the familiar grocery store brands you've used for decades to adopt a completely new ecosystem, is incredibly difficult.
Oh, human beings hate change.
We do. So how does a company convince millions of consumers to voluntarily walk onto this tightrope in the first place?
Well, it requires a massive behavioral shift, which is historically one of the hardest things to achieve in consumer markets. And based on the member guides, they accomplish this by gamifying the onboarding experience.
Gamifying it.
Yes. They make the first few months disproportionately rewarding to lower the friction of switching brands.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Their structured welcome program gives new members $100 in free products over their first 5 months. Yep. Doled out at $20 a month.
But they don't just hand you a gift card and let you loose. You have to actively engage with their digital portal to unlock it.
And this is just a masterclass in behavioral economics. Let's examine the timeline provided in the sources. In month 1, you earn your first $20 simply for placing your initial order.
So that's immediate positive reinforcement.
Exactly. But the friction slightly increases in month 2. To unlock the next $20, you actually have to log in and answer 3 quick questions about your product preferences.
Okay, getting you a bit more involved.
Right. And then for month 3, 4, and 5, you unlock your $20 each month by watching a single, short educational video about their product ingredients or the company's philosophy.
That is wild. They're essentially paying their customers to educate themselves.
From a retention standpoint, it's brilliant. I mean, if you just give someone a discount, they might take it and leave.
Yeah, happens all the time.
But if you pay them to understand the value of xylitol in toothpaste or citric acid in a surface cleaner, they start to internalize the brand's philosophy.
It feels exactly like a video game tutorial.
How do you mean?
Well, think about it. When you start a new video game, the first level doesn't throw a huge boss fight at you. It just asks you to look up, look down, and jump. And then it showers you with gold coins and achievement badges for doing the absolute bare minimum.
Right.
It builds your confidence. It ensures you understand the mechanics so you don't get frustrated and quit. Melaleuca is basically rewarding you with gold coins, $20 a month, just for learning how to navigate their catalog of over 400 products.
That's spot on. And by month 5, the behavioral shift is largely complete. The member is educated on the catalog, they are integrated into the monthly ordering rhythm, and they have personally experienced the products.
The habit has been formed.
Exactly. The habit is set.
And the gamification doesn't even stop after month 5. The sources detail a permanent program called Shipping on Us.
Oh, this is a big one.
Yeah. If a member orders 44 or more product points, which is, just a little bit above that 35-point minimum, they get their entire shipping charge refunded.
But it's not refunded to their credit card.
Right. It's refunded in what they call loyalty shopping dollars.
Which serves a dual purpose. For the company, it incentivizes a slightly larger basket size, pushing you to 44 points instead of 35.
Darn.
And for the consumer, it completely eliminates the psychological pain of paying for shipping, which everyone hates.
We all hate paying for shipping.
Totally. And because those loyalty shopping dollars are banked directly in their account, it encourages the member to log back in next month to spend them. Often they use them to try a new, risk-free product they might not have purchased otherwise.
So it constantly deepens the member's reliance on the catalog. It's a very tightly woven web.
It really is.
But let's pivot to the most critical aspect of this entire deep dive.
Okay, let's do it.
You can have the most generous welcome programs, the most forgiving backup orders, and a fantastic credit card.
Right.
But if the laundry detergent doesn't actually clean your clothes or the vitamins don't work, this entire 96% retention rate collapses overnight.
Oh, 100%.
The perks don't matter if the core products are subpar.
The stated philosophy of the company addresses that directly, actually. They operate under a strict mandate that they will not sell a product unless it meets one of 3 criteria.
What are they?
It must outperform the competition, provide benefits the competition cannot, or deliver equal or better quality at a significantly better price. And they achieve this through some very specific logistical and scientific innovations.
Yeah. And one of the most glaring differences I saw is their approach to concentration and eliminating fillers.
Yes, the water issue.
Exactly. Think about a standard bottle of grocery store cleaner or laundry detergent. You're basically paying a massive corporation to ship heavy plastic jugs of tap water across the country on diesel trucks.
It's terrible for the environment.
It creates enormous carbon emissions and massive plastic waste. But Melaleuca's formulas are up to 12 times concentrated. You aren't buying the extra water. You literally add your own at home from the tap.
It shrinks the carbon footprint and drastically lowers the cost per use, all while significantly reducing packaging waste. But the innovation extends far beyond just removing water. It's deeply rooted in the transition from synthetic chemicals to naturally derived, efficacious ingredients.
I really want to dig into the actual mechanisms of that, because naturally derived is a buzzword that, frankly, often means doesn't really work.
Oh, for sure. We've all bought that natural cleaner that doesn't clean anything.
Right. So how are they achieving industrial-level efficacy without the harsh chemicals?
They rely on the specific mechanical properties of natural compounds. Take their botanical disinfectants, for example. Instead of using bleach or ammonia, which are highly toxic respiratory irritants.
And smell awful.
Right. They utilize citric acid and thyme oil. On a cellular level, thyme oil and citric acid actually disrupt the cell walls of bacteria, eliminating germs safely without leaving behind a toxic residue.
That's fascinating.
And for their dental care, the Perradiant technology relies on natural polishing agents like xylitol and T40C3 oil.
And T40C3 is a highly specialized pharmaceutical grade of Melaleuca oil.
Yeah.
It isn't just a generic essential oil off a shelf.
Precisely. It is formulated to precise standards for therapeutic benefit. And they don't just rely on folklore, which is the trap many natural brands fall into.
Right, the whole "my grandmother used this" leaf kind of marketing.
Exactly. Instead, they heavily emphasize rigorous scientific partnerships, often teaming up with researchers who have developed remarkable natural technologies, but maybe lack the marketing muscle of megacorporations.
You're listening to the Total Wellness Solutions Academy. We'll return to today's final segment in just a moment. Thank you for joining our broadcast. We hope you found this conversation informative, thought-provoking, and worthwhile. Be sure to follow our broadcast and let us know if you have any questions or suggestions for future topics. And now, back to our concluding segment of this program's discussion.
And the oligo technology is a perfect example of that, because traditional synthetic mineral supplements often just crystallize in the gut.
They do.
Your body can't process them, which means you're essentially just flushing them out, getting zero nutritional benefit while creating free radical damage.
It's basically expensive waste. So
Yeah.
Melaleuca partnered with Dr. Gary Buettner from the University of Iowa to develop Oligo.
And the mechanism behind oligo is fascinating. It solves the absorption problem by binding minerals to proteins and amino acids, which is exactly how plants process minerals.
Yep, biomimicry.
Because the minerals are bound this way, your body recognizes them as food, much like it would a piece of broccoli, and actually absorbs them into the bloodstream while protecting the antioxidants in your system.
They also utilized patented discoveries from scientists like Dr. Larry Wang for their original Access Weight Management bar. They focus heavily on patenting the processes around these natural ingredients.
Why don't traditional pharmaceutical companies do that?
Because traditional pharmaceutical companies usually ignore natural compounds. Synthetic chemicals are easier to mass produce with infinitely higher profit margins. By focusing on the natural mechanisms, Melaleuca captures a sector of science that mainstream retail completely ignores.
Once that loyalty is solidified and the security of the backup order is trusted, the ecosystem begins to expand. And it expands far beyond physical products like vitamins, toothpaste, or botanical surface cleaners. It actually starts touching entirely different areas of a listener's life.
Yeah, the documentation outlines an overarching philosophy they call the 4 pillars of wellness.
Right. Health, environment, finances, and quality of life.
Exactly. And while the physical products obviously cover health and environment, the finances and quality of life pillars introduce a whole suite of digital and financial services.
This was honestly the most surprising part of the research for me. We found documentation for a digital service called InfoGuard Advanced Identity Protection.
Yeah, unexpected, right.
Totally. It includes top-rated Bitdefender antivirus, proactive identity monitoring, dark web surveillance, and a $1 million insurance coverage policy.
And it's integrated right into their system.
Yes. The member portal offers this starting at just $7.99, and that counts for 2 product points a month.
This raises an important question about the elasticity of brand trust.
What do you mean by elasticity?
Well, typically, consumers compartmentalize their trust. You trust a bank with your money, and you trust a soap company to clean your clothes.
Right, you wouldn't normally mix those up.
Exactly. But if a brand can earn your trust with a highly effective natural dish soap, and they prove reliable month after month, year after year, can they leverage that trust to become your cybersecurity provider?
Wow, yeah. And according to their numbers, the answer seems to be yes. And they don't stop at cybersecurity either.
No, they don't.
The sources detail a Melaleuca Rewards Visa credit card. The documentation frames these perks as highly competitive within the credit card industry. Members get 6% back in loyalty shopping dollars on Melaleuca purchases, 4% back on gas, EV charging, groceries, and dining, and 2% on everything else.
By integrating a financial product like a Visa card, they are taking everyday out-of-network activities like buying groceries locally or charging your electric vehicle and turning them into currency that feeds right back into their walled wellness ecosystem.
It's brilliant.
It really blurs the line between a simple shopping club and a comprehensive lifestyle infrastructure.
And the sources proudly anchor all of this to an overarching promise of reliability. Like, Forbes apparently named them one of America's best brands for value for 2026, specifically citing quality for the price.
That's a huge endorsement.
It is. They also back their physical products with a 90-day empty bottle satisfaction guarantee. You can literally use the entire bottle of shampoo, and if you don't like it, get a full refund.
Well, mechanically, a company can only afford an empty bottle guarantee if the refund rate is extraordinarily low.
Which implies the products generally perform as advertised.
Exactly. But before we wrap up, I do want to touch on one final mechanism related to that finances pillar.
Oh, the referral program.
Yes. The sources outline a referral business model. And I want to be super clear here, because the member guide explicitly distinguishes this from traditional multi-level marketing, where people often have to buy and store tons of inventory in their garages.
Right, the language in the member guide is very specific about that. It states, you simply refer customers to shop at Melaleuca. You'll never have to keep inventory, take orders, make deliveries, bill customers, or press anyone to purchase.
From an operational standpoint, the company handles all the logistics. They do the customer service and the shipping. The referring member simply acts as a connector.
Makes sense.
And in exchange, they earn a commission every time that referred household places an order. When you tie that back to the 96% retention rate we discussed in the very beginning, you can understand how referring even a small number of people could create a very stable, long-term financial benefit.
Because those people aren't leaving.
Exactly. It reinforces the loyalty of the referrer while seamlessly bringing a new household into the ecosystem.
So what does this all mean? Let's bring this deep dive back to our central mission today. We set out to ask, do the concepts of loyalty, the 35-point monthly agreement, and security, the automated backup order, actually matter to the consumer? Or are they just a subscription trap?
Based on the mechanics outlined in these sources, they absolutely matter, and they are deeply symbiotic. The monthly agreement gives the manufacturer the unprecedented stability required to forecast demand, eliminate wasteful warehouse costs, and offer high-quality ingredients at a steep discount.
And the backup order ensures that the consumer never accidentally loses those hard-earned benefits, discounts, and reward dollars just because they had a stressful week and forgot to check out their digital shopping cart.
Right.
It's a true safety net, supported by those proactive customer care check-ins designed to keep the ecosystem running smoothly for both parties.
It's a fascinating trade-off, really. The consumer is voluntarily trading the illusion of endless, unstructured choice at the big box store for a highly structured, predictable value exchange.
Which brings us back to that leaky bucket we talked about at the very beginning. Traditional retail operates on the assumption that you will eventually leave, so they have to squeeze you for margin while you're there.
Yeah, get it while they can.
Exactly. This model operates on the assumption that you will stay forever, so they build an environment designed to keep the water perfectly calm and secure.
It fundamentally changes the relationship between the buyer and the maker.
It really does.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up today, I want to leave you with something to ponder that goes beyond just soap and vitamins.
Always good to zoom out.
Yeah. Think about the concept of decision fatigue. A modern grocery store contains roughly 40,000 different items. We spend so much of our cognitive energy swiping, scrolling, comparing prices, and agonizing over minor choices in a landscape of infinite options.
It's exhausting.
It is.
Yeah.
Perhaps the 96% retention rate we've explored today isn't just about good laundry detergent. Maybe we are reaching an era where the sheer exhaustion of modern capitalism makes us actually crave a walled garden.
That's a profound thought.
What if the future of commerce isn't endless choices, but rather a trusted algorithm, automatically restocking our basic needs, freeing up our brain power for the things in life that actually matter? Something to mull over the next time you find yourself paralyzed in the toothpaste aisle.
It's definitely a compelling way to look at where consumer behavior is heading.
Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into the Total Wellness Solutions Academy Network. We loved analyzing these sources with you, and we hope you walk away with a clearer picture of how loyalty and security can mechanically alter the modern marketplace. Until next time, take care and stay curious.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope today's conversation gave you something worth thinking about. Join us again next time as we continue exploring ideas that help families improve their overall wellness by shopping smarter and building better financial futures. Until then, take care.